Greetings all, we are still in Nokesville, Virginia, the Americans in Wartime Experience Museum, and I have found a vehicle that has a lot fewer wheels than I am used to. Standing next to me here is Mr. Denny, who is going to teach me all about this contraption, which is a what?
It's a 41 WL Harley-Davidson. It's the last Harley-Davidson you can buy before the Army would take them all for the war. In 1941, the Army bought a third of these for test and evaluation to see how well they liked the motorcycle and wanted to continue using them in service. The Brits bought a third of these and sent them straight to Africa, and the rest for $375, you too could own a 41 WL Harley-Davidson. I paid a bit more than the $375 for it, but that's the general gist.
So this ended service before the US entered the war?
Nope, well, exactly. So they made the 41 only in 1941, and from here, the Army kicked back several things that they would like to see changed on the bike, the shape of the air oil filter and the like, and the Army bought the 42 WLA, same engine, but WLA for Army. So they changed it just a little bit, and they made the 42 WLA up until 1947. This they only made in 41.
Okay, so you will see photographs, let's say, of Italian Bersaglieri or German motorcycles with sidecars. Right. They were using them as actual combat units or reconnaissance or just mobile infantry, dragoons almost.
That's right.
Was that what the US used them for?
No, very different role. The Army decided that's not what we're going to do. In fact, they were very specific when they ordered the 45 solo bike. They did not want a sidecar with it. They didn't plan on putting another guy on the back like you see in the German bikes. Only the Marines got them with sidecars, and they used them out in California and shore patrol in San Francisco and San Diego, places like that. The Army used them for messenger work, which is why we have her in our scout unit. She is, as a staff sergeant running an intelligence and reconnaissance platoon, I would have 4 Jeeps, a half-track, and 2 Harley-Davidsons. The Harleys are used specifically for transmitting messages back to the regimental headquarters or the platoon CP.
So they'd never be used for recon itself?
No.
Okay.
No.
So I think of a Harley-Davidson, I think of guys cruising on a highway, long distance riding, nice and comfortable, smooth roads.
Right.
Not so much in war. So does this differ from a Harley because of reinforced suspension or anything? Or
no, not really. I mean, this is, again, a civilian bike, and the Army bikes that they made in 42 were identical in terms of the suspension system. It's got the Springer front end on it, so it's got a nice set of springs here and a big, nice saddle here. So it is a very smooth ride on a nice open highway. There's no problems there. I have taken her up a logging trail in Germany just to check her off-road capability. She's only got about 4.5 inches of ground clearance, so she carried me for a while. I carried her for a while. It is not the best off-road bikes. The Germans, different design, different mentality. Again, as you said, they moved entire infantry regiments in motorcycle-equipped battalions. They had a very different purpose. Motorcycle messenger work, MP courier work, traffic control point work, but that was it.
So the reinforcing underneath the protective guards, was that on the civilian model as well?
The skid plate?
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. It may be an Army specific thing. I suspect it was on the civilian models as well, because they really did very little to these bikes when they bought them from Harley and said that's what we want. That's what we want.
And I guess it does predate the interstate.
Yeah, it does.
So what does it sound like? That sounds pretty good. That's unique. So what do you do with it now?
She's a daily driver for me in and around work. When I worked at Fort Eustis, a daily driver. When I was in Germany, a daily driver. Now she gets to come out to shows like this, and we kind of talk about her. And she's really, we've got a couple of Jeeps here, but she's really the centerpiece for our intelligence and reconnaissance platoon because she's a good old girl and she gets all the attention.
Oh, what group are you with?
So 41st Armored Infantry Regiment, 2nd Armored Division. We're the intelligence and reconnaissance platoon. So basically a brigade scout platoon today.
And where would you find you on Facebook or anything else like that?
41st Armored Infantry Regiment reenacted, intelligence and reconnaissance platoon reenacted.
And you're based here in Virginia?
In Williamsburg, Virginia, Virginia Beach area.
All right. Thank you then. Take care.
Thanks.